is everyone in the social space looking for? Anyone want to guess? Who said that? Ding, 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 we have a winner, engagement. That's right, looking for engagement. And what you hear a lot is about the big brands. Who do you think is the biggest brand on Facebook? Anyone? Anyone? The older? General Mills, biggest brand. Any other guesses?
Starbucks.
Pepsi's a good, great guess. Starbucks, another great guess. Those are all top fives. Number one's Coke. So you're very close to Pepsi. Coke's number one, Starbucks number two. You know what number three is? Bet you won't guess this one. Oreo. Oreo. How did Oreo get to be number three when they got all these other brands like Pepsi and so on? Well, short answer is people love Oreos, and they enabled that by putting all of their marketing in-store on packages dedicated to driving consumers into this medium on Facebook where they will continue to talk and interact and talk about the brand. What's that called? Engagement. Now, what do we think when we think engagement in the typical terms? This is what brands want, because it's just like a real engagement when you get married. Engagement's about, hey, we want somebody to get to know us. We want them to spend lots of time with us. And you know what, we want them to say nice things to their friends. And we eventually want them to make a commitment to us. That's what a real engagement is, and that's what we're looking for online in social communities. So the obvious question is, how do you get that? One of the dirty little secrets in social media is that some of the biggest players, like Starbucks, got people onto their fan page by spending a buttload of money. They didn't exactly create engagement. So now they have to figure out how to monetize that by making those people dialogue. So in some sense, we look at it as a continuum of engagement. You got to really build up to it. You got to do all these things. You have to have standard updates in Facebook where you're talking to your consumers about things that are meaningful to them. That does not mean that you come out as a food brand and say, hey, what are you doing for Mother's Day? Because that's not context appropriate, and you're going to actually lose fans. You have to, then a lot of companies have come out and said, we're going to do sweepstakes and offers. Starbucks has been one of the most prolific at giving away stuff to get people to like them. Now, my opinion, that's a little bit dubious in its value. You're always saying, here, I'll give you a gallon of ice cream to like me. Well, anybody can do that all day long, right? A lot of companies are doing feedback and polls where they're coming out just talking about topics about the brand, creating engagement that way. And then, really what's happened an enormous amount of the time, or what's often joked in the industry is uber costly custom events, which are when a company like, say Pepsi for example, comes out and it builds lots of expensive software to do a particular event and tries to create lots of excitement around it. That's great if you're Pepsi and you can afford that. Unfortunately, most companies can't. So we set out and said, well, there's got to be something else out there that can really create even more engagement than just saying, hey, we'll give you free stuff. This one was a very expensive campaign done by TGI Fridays. Anybody ever hear of the Woody campaign? See, that tells you how effective it was. Not a single hand goes up in the room. The Woody campaign was TGI Fridays, the restaurant chain, saying if we get to 500,000 fans, we'll give everybody a free cheeseburger. So again, it was come like us and we'll give you free stuff. Now in their case, that might work, because what happens when you come and get a free cheeseburger at TGI Fridays? Cocktails, French fries, more cocktails. So they can kind of make it up and you're probably going to bring a friend. Doesn't really translate well to the grocery industry, does it? So again, there's opportunities for something different, and while this was successful in getting them to 1 million fans, it's really questionable as to whether it was sustainable.